Hey everyone, it's Tommy back with a brand new video, and you'll notice this one is a different team than you are used to. So I was actually planning on taking most of this week off just to have a little bit of a break since I haven't been playing too well lately. But instead I ended up getting a call to play on Friday night, and I have that game footage, and I'll probably release that later on some rainy day. And then I also played in this game as well. And this game is actually the team that I play defense for. So when you guys saw that video a few weeks ago where I was playing forward and I was wearing a jersey very similar to the ones you see on my players here, that's because that's actually for the team where I play defense for them. So, however, our goalie ended up getting hurt the Saturday morning, and so I ended up playing goal for us, which was good and bad. Of course, I wanted the weekend off just to clear my head a little bit, but I actually didn't play that bad, even though we got beat pretty badly. I did not include every goal in this case. I included most of them, but not all of them. Some of them were a little bit more difficult to see, and other ones, honestly, I just don't want to look at ever again. So I did include some of the others. Now, as far as pads go, you see here, there is nothing new. These are still my XLTs. Of course, one of my Bauer 961 helmets, and the Paso chest protector, which is absolutely great. Now, here's a little bit of a secret. I have ordered my brand new CCM, so look forward to those in April. I'm really excited about those. It'll be the same color scheme, but a little bit of a different look than you're probably used to if you're looking at any NHLers with CCM pads. So I'm really looking forward to that. In addition, I will have a new mask coming up soon, probably within the next couple weeks, and then we will have a review coming up over on goaliecrease.net of a mask, as well as a glove comparison video for the Reebok and CCM series, since I am using the 590s now, and that is what I recently ordered for my new CCM. So let's get started with some narrations. Now, despite the shot coming in at a relatively weak speed, and it really wasn't that difficult of a shot in the first place, being from the point, this was actually a far harder play to anticipate because I not only had one screen, but I actually had three screens here, and one of them ends up tipping it, and their guy tries to get a stick on it as well. So I had to anticipate all of those, and it ended up going off of my arm. In this play, I know that their defenseman is going to have a very nice opportunity from the top of the slot. However, he does have a couple different opportunities here, including a tip on his right side, as well as a pass on his left side. He ends up taking that shot, which was a little bit obstructed by my forward there, trying to block the shot, and I didn't get a very good blocker on it. Instead, it ends up going into the slot, and they end up getting another opportunity, which I had to knock down with my glove. And fortunately, my defense was there to clear any rebound. So there were a few errors on this play, and it started off with a really bad pass by my forward, who actually ended up passing straight to their player. Now the second one here is that my defenseman just sticks a stick out, and it ends up deflecting above the net, and then takes a really weird hop on over to the right side of the net. Now I saw that their guy was going for the puck, but I didn't know where the puck was at that time, and I had a defenseman right in my way. So even though I tried to push him out, it wasn't in time, and the puck was already in the net. Bad passes were a recurring theme for my team this game, unfortunately, and here's another one. And unfortunately, that little pass there ended up getting interrupted by their pressing forward, and the puck ended up going to their other forward who was coming down that left side. So he's going to get a pretty good opportunity here on his backhand. He knows he has that forward right there, but he doesn't get a very good backhand off, and so it was an easy redirect into the corner, fortunately. Point shots through screens is definitely something that this team loves to do, and this is what they're going to do here. Even though that's a forward up there on the blue line, he's going to end up taking that shot through one of my forwards. Now, it wasn't a very difficult shot, and it was one that was easily directed away, but I had to make sure that it went into the corner instead of at that guy who was to my right. There's not really much to say about this play because, well, let's be honest, that was a pretty weak shot. So, easy glove save, and I'll just keep it since I know that they have a couple guys who are behind my defenseman there. The quick shot on this play actually surprised me quite a bit, so I had to make a more forceful stop as opposed to the smoother butterfly that you would normally see in this case. So I had to make the quick stop here, and I make it and redirect it into the corner. Now on first glance, this play really doesn't seem that difficult because it's a pretty weak shot from the point. However, I know that they're going to have this guy on my right side who's going to be pretty close looking for the rebound. So instead of deflecting it possibly into his chest and into my net, I decided to deflect it upwards and back into the slot. Not necessarily the smartest choice, but I think that was one of the only choices I had at the time. Here's another giveaway by my defenseman, and unfortunately this was also while we were on the power play. So our guy's going to get a fantastic breakaway opportunity here, and I really didn't know where he was going to go on this. I knew I had been burned on that blocker side last game. He ended up going 5-hole. I make the easy stop there with the +2 thigh rise, and he ends up getting a little bit of a stick on it, which I make the easy leg save with my left leg and control the rebound. Some of you have been asking for more video on when I come out and I play the puck and some of my decision making here. So here the puck's going to come down. We are still on the power play here. And I know that I have this rushing oncoming forward who's going to make life a little bit difficult for me at the time. Now I don't necessarily know if we're going to have a guy over on the right boards. So I'm going to go ahead and send a very hard backhand over on those left boards where I know I have a waiting defenseman who is open. In these cases, I think it's much more important to make the safe play as opposed to trying to do something too complex and then you have a forward right there waiting for the puck. Still on that same power play, the puck's going to come down, but this time I'm going to have a defenseman who is right there, even though they still have that oncoming rushing forward. So what I'm going to do is communicate to my defenseman that I'm going to leave it there for him, go on my backhand, and just give him a little bit of a tap, and that way he's able to get to that puck much quicker. That way I'm making sure that I'm putting him in the best position possible for him to make the nice play. So this guy's going to get a relatively okay opportunity coming down that left side. However, I'm going to go into that VH. I know that I have that defenseman who is going to be blocking the middle. So I know that right about now he really doesn't have much to do. He ends up taking that shot, goes off the side of the net. However, he stays with the puck, and I think that's extremely important here. He stayed with the puck, and then he's going to get another great opportunity because of that. So he's going to come out, and he's actually going to end up bypassing all of our sticks right here. I end up making a nice little stick save, and then he gets another rebound that ends up getting trapped underneath my left leg. So because of his persistence, he ended up getting a few more opportunities than he should have. This play actually starts with a nice little poke by my defenseman, but unfortunately his pass that's upcoming here goes straight into their forward. Now their forward here right now draws those two defensemen into the middle, and now I'm screened. I see that the puck is now going to my right. That gets tipped by my defenseman back to my left, and it was too slow for me to redirect into the corner, and instead puts a nice rebound right there for an easy goal. So at this point of the game, it's about the middle of the second, and my defense is out of gas. And as usual, I only have one defenseman who is somewhat back, trying to disrupt this basically 2-on-0 at this point. Now their forward right there on the right is going to get a fantastic pass over on that forward to my left. Fortunately, he ends up tipping it wide, and my glove probably wasn't in a great position in order to stop that anyway. So I need to work on my glove positioning on those really difficult lateral movements. So this is a 3-on-0 opportunity for them, so they're not going to get much better than this right here. And this guy's going to come in, and I'm actually going to fake a little bit to my blocker side. And what I'm trying to do here is get him to either shoot blocker side or go ahead and make that pass over for the easy save. Instead, he takes that shot to my glove side, and it doesn't go in my pocket, but I'm able to smother the rebound nonetheless. Now at this point I'm starting to wear down a little bit, and so I actually make probably an incorrect decision here. Now I know that they have a couple guys to my left side, and they have one to my right who is probably looking for a rebound. This guy's going to end up taking a slapper, and it's a pretty easy blocker save, but I punch it into the slot, trying to get past that incoming guy and hoping that one of my defensemen is going to get there. I probably should have just put that into the corner. Now again, I'm starting to wear down here, and at this point we're losing relatively badly. So on this shot right here, it's a pretty easy shot that their forward is going to get a very nice tip on, and it accidentally hits me in the right leg. So I have to react right here to that save on my right leg, and now it's right in front of me where I see it, and I go ahead and push over and make a relatively nice save on that side. So a little bit of laziness and a whole lot of luck ended up turning out pretty well for me. So here's another great opportunity for them. They're going to have this partial breakaway here, but really it's a 3-on-1. And this guy is probably going to make the wrong decision here by trying to get that into the slot here. However, it does still get past my defenseman, and they're going to get a fairly nice opportunity, even though that guy kind of runs into me. And that really negated any sort of good options for them to score. At this point, he didn't have a whole lot to look at, and I make a little glove save and smother the rebound. So again, what they're trying to do here is get those really nice point shots that are through screens, and then they're also hoping for tips at the same time. So because that guy was screening me, I actually didn't see that pass in time, and this guy's actually going to get a relatively good shot off through a few screens. Ends up shooting it straight into my chest for an easy save. So we're pretty much all out of gas at this point, and we're starting to commit mental mistakes as well. So my defenseman goes around the net following the puck instead of staying in the slot, and my forward also follows the puck a little bit, leaving two guys completely open in the slot, and that guy's going to get a very nice backhand straight through my 5-hole. Well, let's be honest here, this puck was probably going a good, 2 or 3 feet on the outside, but hey, it's still a glove save, so I'm keeping it in there because I want to. Yet again, another fantastic opportunity for the other team. This guy is just going to drive himself straight through those two defensemen here and completely dangle all the way through. Now, when he gets on the other side, he really doesn't have a whole lot to look at. I end up making a relatively easy save, but unfortunately, my D can't get that puck out, which was definitely a recurring theme for this game. So now this guy is just going to have an absolutely fantastic opportunity walking all the way in from the point. And really, at this point, I don't know what he's going to do. So he ends up taking a shot straight off my arm, and it goes over into the corner. So, hey, I'll take it. Now this is one of those times where I don't have any choice but to be aggressive and come out of my net and play at this puck. So I know at this point that that defenseman is not going to be on my right board, so I'm hoping that my other defenseman is going to go around to my left side boards. Unfortunately, he doesn't make it there in time, and instead their forward gets there and puts an okay shot on net, but I'm already ready for that shot. And then I keep the rebound very close and go ahead and smother it, and it's a good thing because now I had another guy right there just waiting for that rebound. So as if it wasn't bad enough that I'm trying to look through several different layers of screens, this guy's going to end up taking a very weak shot that I'm not going to pick up until it's far too late, and I'm going to slightly move to the right, and then their guy's going to get a very nice tip on, and it's just going to find that hole in between my leg and my post. Now this is one of those times where I'm glad that I really can't do the splits anymore. I'm far too old and probably out of shape in order to do it. And that actually works to my benefit here because as I come across the crease, this guy isn't going to get a very good shot on, and it goes behind the net. So at this point, I actually have a really good opportunity to make that push back over to my other side, and I am flexible enough to get all the way down for a half butterfly save, and I end up trapping that puck pretty well. So I think in this case, it actually worked out to my benefit that I can't do the splits. Now, while it would be pretty easy to blame my defense for allowing this entire opportunity to happen, I actually think it worked out to all of our benefits because my defenseman here is going to make sure that it's forced out to that left side, and he really didn't have a whole lot to shoot at by then. All he had to do was go down and make the easy save. Now on this play I think we got very, very lucky because on this one my defense didn't push him to the outside, and instead my other defenseman is going to let that other forward go right around him. So he actually had a really good opportunity here to pass over to that incoming forward on my left side, and instead he shot it straight into me. So this is one of those times when you've been scored on so often, you're so tired you really don't want to move anymore. So I noticed right about here that that puck is going to squirt out to that left side, and that guy's just going to tee it up and put it straight into my chest. So I thought I might get a pretty good looking glove save out of it, but instead just shot it straight into my chest. Well, there wasn't much I could do about this one. At this point of the game, we're all tired, and this guy's going to come down that right side and just put a beautiful pass over to the guy on the left side who is completely uncontested because my defenseman decided to guard the high slot as opposed to the guy who was right behind him. So he's going to get that great opportunity and deflect it straight into the open net. Now this really shows why I'm really glad to be going back to the 590 break, because I'm a far more confident stick handler with the 590 break. I'm much more used to it. So I have a good opportunity here. I have to get to that puck, and I put a very nice floating pass on over to that forward who was probably going to go off for a change, but nonetheless it was a very good pass, and I'll take it. Now in this one, obviously I'm going to follow that play around the net here, but unfortunately I'm not able to get my stick on the puck, which would have negated this entire opportunity in the first place. So it's going to go between my leg and the puck. This guy's going to get a great opportunity that I stop, but that rebound ends up coming out straight into the low slot, and my defenseman isn't there to pick it up for me. So these are literally the last few seconds of the game, and they are clearly ahead by quite a bit, and yet they are still trying 2-on-1s, and they're still playing pretty hard. So that pretty much angers me right here. Now, their guy's going to get a great opportunity, but he doesn't end up getting his blade on the stick, and instead he runs straight into me. So I figured at this point, I'm just going to take you out. So that's a pretty good way to end a game that you're losing, get a little bit of aggression out, and end the game on the only high note of the night for us, unfortunately. So again, that was the end of the game, and it was not a good one for us, unfortunately. We had a short bench, and we ran out of steam in the second period, but I'm sure we'll rebound, and I'm going to be very glad to go back on defense and let our regular goalie get back in net. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I have another question for you while you're at it. Would you prefer to have these videos over on the Goalie Crease Net channel? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you out on the ice. Good luck.